Hey everybody, back again for some readings as promised. I'm running a little bit later. Like I said on my last live, I was gonna go and do a quick run and do some exercise and then get on about 10:30. Let me just see if anyone wants to come on, if anyone shows up. Anyways, I'll just continue. So I'm on a little bit later. So as I was running today, I'm listening to my music, jogging along, and from a side street, I see this elderly man trying to get my attention, and then I stopped, took my headphone off, and said, "Yeah." He was didn't speak English, very, very, very limited um, English. He was Spanish. He asked me if I spoke Spanish. I'm like, no, but he was trying to show me an address, so he had that written down. And it was like a couple blocks down, and I'm like, yeah, just follow me. I'll walk there with you. And he wanted to get to a bus station, but then as we were walking, we saw the bus go by, and I'm like, I think you just missed your bus. And he couldn't really understand anything I was saying. I'm like, I'll bring you. Just hop in my truck, walk back to my place, and I will bring you. And he showed me the address he was trying to get to, which was like 10 minutes away. And I thought it would just be easier than trying to walk him to the bus station, try to find out what the next bus schedule is, and just have him follow me home and to bring him. And it was a really beautiful experience. From what I could tell, he was from Colombia, but really he was from Spain. And it was just a nice interaction to connect with someone like that energy, that like breaking through the barriers of language and just feeling and trusting one another enough to follow a complete stranger, me being a complete stranger, but me taking a complete stranger, doesn't speak the language. We're taught to be cautious, and especially females with males or what have you, all of that stuff. And I just was really excited to actually help this guy out. And it kind of goes along with the message of the more that we heal our own inner pain and trauma and fears and realize that everything outside of us is just an aspect of us, an energy, and as we work through it and cleanse it or transmute it, it really opens us up to greater light. And within that light, it's obviously higher frequencies of love and trust and allowance. And then as we allow, we become in alignment to this higher truth, this more pure light. And then through that alignment, we shift to realities that create synchronicities to experience this greater love. And I just felt really, really, really blessed. I didn't finish my run, and I'm obviously starting my live later, but it doesn't matter because it was really, really fulfilling. It's really, really fulfilling to allow the cleansing of your own pain to open you up to a greater love that connects you to all of these other branches and expressions of sharing that love, sharing that trust, sharing that confidence in the love and light that you are. And that's what is intensified during these eclipsal blood moon, full moon energies. They really allow us to go deep, to extract more light. The lighter we become during the cycles, that light is intense, strong enough to help us delve deeper. And so this morning, after a beautiful meditation of my own and cleansing some pain that I didn't realize was there, didn't expect to have any emotions during this full moon, then doing my live this morning and sharing on the beach, I was just really opened up to a beautiful frequency of allowance, which aligned me to a higher frequency of love to have me meet up and help this other little earth angel that was lost in a foreign country, couldn't speak English, didn't know where in the hell he was going other than some physical addresses he had on his papers. So I just thought it was really nice, and I just wanted to share that with you guys and also to explain why I'm later. All right. So it does not look like anybody wants to come on. I'll give it a few minutes. I'll do a collective read too for this full moon energy. Just a collective. I know I did one this morning regarding this card, this Mother Earth Heart card, because Mother Earth represents that physical manifestation of our energy. And it's to do with, a lot of it's to do with letting go of the physical things that have hurt us in the physical plane, that have manifested, emotions that have taken on a physical experience. And right now we're just kind of cleansing and releasing ourselves of those, allowing them to be transmuted to a higher truth, a higher frequency insight, gaining the love in them, and then releasing them to bring forth greater peace. And something else that really stood out in this card this morning was, so this looks like a heart. It is a heart of crystallized water, which is snow, ice particles coming together. But what stands out is this split at the top of her head. So right here is her nose, her mouth, her chin, and she's facing that way. But this morning, what I realized after the fact was her head was split open into a heart. And to me, it represented unifying in love those split parts of ourselves. So that's something that I gained after doing that live earlier. We are unifying and integrating and bringing together that split part, which we know, we can call it the yin, the yang, the masculine, the feminine, bringing them together. And every time that we choose to allow the feelings, to allow the healing, so all that allowance brings us into a greater alignment of bringing together those split part of us, the parts of us that we don't mind basking in, the sun parts of us, and then also allowing that sun part of us to illuminate the unconscious part of us, the things that come to the surface during the full moon. And then allowing both of them to work together and allowing them to be both integrated, and through the allowance, the sun shows us the light in that experience, because we are the sun, we are the light, we're God's source energy, and whatever we allow, we also infuse it with light and love, and then it can be released. It can be brought out of us and then transmuted in order to be then changed to an experience that actually empowers us, represented by this split in the heart, split in the head. Split in the head. So sometimes we literally are split in the head. We're confused. We don't know which way to go, this way or that way. So I'm just going to do a collective reading, and we're going to just get some insight. Get some insight on whoever watches this. They can take and extract whatever information applies to them in their own way, in their own resonance. Oops, let me get out of that. Sorry. How do I do this? Okay. All right, guys. So, just pulling forth a couple oracles for a little more insight, what might be pertaining to us, what energies, we'll just see what comes through. What energies are coming forth into our awareness to be transmuted into the light? What parts of us might we be dealing with that we either know or don't know that will either give us assistance and support and clarity? All right. So this is just a little collective. Blood moon, eclipse moon. Usually that's a huge shift in energies happen. So we have the 11/11 portal following up this full moon energy on Friday, today being Wednesday. But all of this always just being a frequency. There really is no linear time. It's just frequencies that we're going through, represented in our physical world through an eclipse, through a full moon, through 11/11 portal. Something that is working in symbiosis with our own transformation. So we're going through great transformation. And we've gone through great transformation. And part of this transformation is gaining that confidence and trusting in our own discernment, and then following through with action. Following through with action on your own discernment. So I discerned, yes, it is safe to take this Colombian Spanish-speaking man to IHOP. Actually, his destination was IHOP in the next town over. I trust in that. I discern my feelings, and I'm going to follow through and take action on my trust and on my confidence. So that was a cool little real-life experience for me to play out, to take action on my confidence, in my discerning, in my trust, and also manifesting that action, that manifesting that that sense of, oh, that was really cool. It was fun to engage with another soul. It was fun to help someone out. So I received the physical manifestation of the emotions due to that experience. All right, so we got that, and let's see, one more. Little shadow side. Let's pull a little shadows and light. Shadows and light, and that's kind of what that full moon energy, that blood moon eclipsal energy does. It kind of brings forth the little shadow parts of us, but then when we bring them forth, due to our awareness and allowance, we shine our light to transmute them, like this. We bring together the shadow and the light part of us, the split between the spiritual, the physical, the split mind that we sometimes have from not being in our center. Should I go this way? Should I go that way? Should I believe this? Should I believe that? Well, that split is now unifying. And how's it unifying? Through our own discernment, trusting in ourself, having confidence in ourself, in our discernment, in this new information and new truth that we are claiming as our own, allowing through our own healing. We allow higher frequencies of truth. There's many different layers, so we're allowing a higher frequency in that which might not be represented in your outside world yet. So it takes a certain amount of trust and confidence to follow through in action on that new insight, on your truth gained from your own discernment. And no one else needs to agree. No one else needs to understand it even as you move forward and take action through your own discernment, through having the confidence in what you gained or the insight you gained, through bringing it within. Oh, there goes the train. And then following through. What was I going to say? That's how we create that. That's how we create that new physical manifestation in that new world. It's not by claiming and just automatically assuming what we see and what we were taught and what energy we've held in the past as our truth. No. Otherwise, we just keep regurgitating and keep going on the same cycle. So it's time for us to go within, use the outside world to gain all of these different informations flying around from everybody's different truths, bringing them within us and discerning and feeling it and gazing our light on those subject matters, particles of information, belief systems, paradigms, everything we thought was true, but now we're thinking, maybe it's not. And then discerning, having the confidence then to step out in your world and act on them. And that's how we create that outer reflection of that new truth. All right. And then obviously those that also resonate with this new energy will gather, just like this little conglomeration of ice particles or snow particles in this bigger heart. So then we gain all of these other little, well, that's what we let go of. And then we are supported by all of these other resonant energies, tribal family members, people, friends, situations, ideas, experiences that then we create by stepping into our own truth, in the truth that aligns to us. So this full moon is bringing forth a cleansing, and we're allowing it through the feeling, placing our awareness on it. That brings us into an alignment and shifts us to a new understanding, a new adopted, a new allowed truth, a higher frequency of truth that now wants to be our new foundation to create from. All right, so what I got. Oops, I didn't pull a shadows. Shoot, darn it all. One thought leads to another. All right. On this morning's live, Johnny Cash's energy was really coming through really strong. And he's saying as he also was an earth angel, and he was an angel that came, just like all of you guys, lowered your frequency enough to go through dense energies of pain and things that we go through in life. And anyone who knows Johnny Cash knows he had a very tumultuous life. There's pains and there was joys, but he transmuted so much pain and density through that lifetime. And he wants us to even call upon his energy. He works closely, Johnny Cash, JC, works closely with Jesus Christ, Christ consciousness, unconditional love, that universal unconditional love that we are all anchoring into earth. And he transmuted so much pain and density through his own allowance and going through it. and then taking that pain and taking what he learned or expressing it through his music. So he was a vehicle of much dense energy to be transmuted into light and love. All right, I'm pulling one more card here, guys. I don't know who's still here because I know initially a couple people popped on and then they left. Ashanaula. I'm so sorry. Asan. I'm going to call you Asan for short. Thank you. Hey, Brenda. Thank you for joining. Um, all right, so let's see what the shadow part, the shadows and the light want to bring forth during this lunar eclipse. And drinking lots of water, also Spirit was saying in this morning's live. So the moon, we all know what a profound effects it has on the water, the tides, people like acting different during the full moon. We're comprised of what, 80% water? And so drinking all of that water helps with the cleansing of toxins within us. It helps us to operate on a physical level, mental and spiritual, at a more gentler, easier flow because the water moves the toxins. It's H2O, which gives us an elevated, even state of being and clarity of thought, they said. If we are dehydrated, even our mind does not operate in the clarity that it does with the water. And they did mention this morning, and I do this as well all the time, adding a little sea salt or Himalaya salt with some lemon juice to the water, and always having a nice big container of water near you, especially during the lunar eclipses and the full moons. Always it's important, but especially now because we're going through a deep cleansing and releasing as we allow our light to shine, as we are the screen for these energies to flow through, the vehicle for them to flow through. We need assistance on the physical level on moving these toxins through us and out. So that's just another little reminder from this morning's live. All right, so the collective is death and the maiden. So the maiden being the young girl, the death. So that like shows like opposite energies. The death card we have here, and then the maiden. To me, it's showing a huge transformative energy, and the number is a 28, which equals a 10, which equals a new beginning and a new cycle starting after the full moon. So death and the maiden. I'm just like to read it intuitively. Almost looks like this skeleton almost looks like it's going to take a bite out of her. It's taking a bite out of her. That's just what I'm feeling. So energies of feeling that things were taken away from us, being cut away, maybe even our youth, her being the maiden, the innocence, because her breasts are exposed as well, her vulnerability, maybe being afraid deep down at a level because we were hurt in the past for exposing our hearts in the past, exposing our truths and our vulnerability. That's what they're saying. So in the past, you might have felt killed or attacked or embarrassed, or that even brings up, the Spirit is showing me when we have dreams of being naked and running around naked represents our vulnerability and being embarrassed. But embarrassment is just believing in an energy, something within us that we can't expose, that we don't want to expose to the public because we might feel fear being judged or criticized for our nakedness, but the nakedness representing our vulnerability, the vulnerability representing that which comes from our heart. And so we are dying to that old belief. So it shows like being gobbled up, criticized, eaten up, like in the past, our fears, the skeleton representing our fears, but also representing us going through a transformation where we're dying to those old beliefs. We're showing that we can be vulnerable. Also, there are some fears of maybe aging, thinking you're growing old, gonna die. So this is also fears of being vulnerable coming up right now, they're saying. Exposing our truth, and now we are going through a huge transformation where, like I keep on saying, Spirit is saying during this 1111 portal, we are stepping into a greater place of self-empowerment through discerning our own truths and having the confidence to take action on them. So that liberates us, transforms that energy of following and worrying about what the outside people think. The outside really being our own energies of judgment, because intuitively we know things that we were taught were not true. Certain ways of being, looking, behaving, all of that crap. We might not have wanted to expose those parts of ourselves as well because we're judging ourselves because we weren't taught that. And then we reflect that judgment in our outside world. So this is saying dying to those energies and having the confidence to come forth with our new discernment, which our discernment is through allowing our heart portal to open up, be vulnerable, and expose our nakedness, our divinity. So I just can't believe the way it goes. Hey, Afia. It goes with those dreams of being naked. I've had many dreams of like exposing yourself or running through the streets naked or whatever. It's because deep down there's a fear still of exposing and showing our vulnerability, because when you decide to step in and act out on a truth that you've discerned, there's the possibility other people aren't going to agree and judge it. But that's okay now. We're overcoming that because that's the only way to create a new world, a world that represents our authentic self, our young self, returning to innocence, returning to who we are without the programs, without all of the layers put on us. This is really beautiful. And also releasing the concept of linear time. We're never too old to transform, to grow, to start anew, to have a new concept, to start a new life. We're never too old to begin anew, because every moment brings forth a new awareness based on the last moment. It gives us the opportunity to learn something about ourselves and to regain that innocence, to regain the truth of who we are, to regain our timelessness, to allow all the other multidimensional parts of ourselves to come forth. So again, the shadow parts that we're bringing in to the light is our own self-transformation, trusting and being vulnerable on the truth that we have discerned and taking action on it. So we're transforming, and then in that we become younger. Because age really, and aging in the physical body, you know how someone who has been through hell and back, they'll suddenly age like 100 years, and I feel like I've done that in the past year. So when you go through a lot of different energies, you're like, boy, you can tell they've been through a lot. But how we rejuvenate ourselves and bring ourselves back to youth is in allowing all of those experiences to work for us, to expose all the fears and all the pain and everything we've believed in that caused us to go through hell to begin with. And it's not in vain ever if we gain the light in it, and then the light is what heals us. It purifies us. It rejuvenates, rebalances, and brings forth new life. Yes, Brenda, please share out if you haven't. Anybody who wants a personal share out, and I will be doing some personal quickies for some personal readings. If you make a donation of $11 in honor of the 11 portal of representing us, our new birth, our rebirth, starting that new cycle through our own confidence and our own discernment, in taking action on our own truth, I'm going to be doing some $11 readings. And I will stick that up in a second. I'll stick it up in a second. So this is beautiful. So bringing forth that innocence and that reborn self, that phoenix rising, that death to rebirth is what we're going through, specifically with those energies that I just spoke of. How awesome. And then this card here, the Mother Earth Heart card, representing all of those pieces of ourselves. These are pine needles. All many different pine needles in the shape of a heart. They were blown up against a curb in the sand, and I took a picture like always. And what it is showing all of these pine needles, all of these other aspects of ourselves. Goes perfectly with this morning's reading with that ice crystal snow thing, cleansing, how all of those parts of ourselves, when we allow them into our awareness, the pain, the joys, all of it, how everything has served a greater love. And what it says is one moment. Oh my God, this is so beautiful. This goes along with this card because it's reiterating one moment. All time is in one moment. All of these parts of us, the past, All of those things we're still holding in this moment because we hold the energy, we hold the memory of the hurts, the pains, the times we had to be embarrassed to be vulnerable, or we're afraid to expose ourselves because we got gobbled up by criticism from the outside world, or we're taught that. He even looks like he's grasping and taking a bite out of her neck, and that neck represents speaking our truth, the truth chakra, speaking our truth, standing in our wisdom, using our tongue when we need to. It represents that, but that takes a certain amount of vulnerability to speak your truth, because it is going to go against the grain, because guess what, we're creating new grains. And so all the moments are in this moment that you can regain that youth. You can regain that innocence by allowing your authentic self to come forth from your heart space. And then that you also nurture others, represented by the breasts. Even, a mother feeds her babies from breast milk a lot of times, most of the time, the natural way anyways. Or animals, all the mothers have breast milk. And that even ties into my example this morning, that when I allowed that new part of me and my own discernment to allow me to take action to help that foreign person and stick them in my truck and drive them to where he needed to go to, nourishing each other, nourishing that baby, that part of us, that innocence, that divinity, that God source energy that wants to come forth. So my amount of trust, I shared that, and then that might have had an impact on that man to know, oh, I can trust, and to share myself freely, with openness and not covering up. So one moment, also that fear of time, that he represents time, decay, dying to the physical. But what this is saying, everything is in that one moment of now. Appreciation for today wipes away negativity of the past, for all moments are intertwined as one. Forgiveness creates space for new perceptions. Those new perceptions and forgiveness and allowance of whatever you're going through personally on this full moon, on this eclipse, gives your new perceptions come from your own discernment. Again, tying in with new discernment, discerning your truth and taking action on it. Every moment is a new beginning. Ties in with this perfectly. This new beginning, finding that cycle, completing that cycle, dying to something through allowing it, through your feelings, through your heart, because she looks a little bit, not super confident. She's allowed and trusted in the experience of dying to these old beliefs in order to open herself up and exposing it. And it takes courage and it takes strength. That's where that confidence is, that solar plexus as well. Every moment is a new beginning that has the potential to transform all time. So we all hold multidimensional. This is us even. This big heart can show even these moments holding multidimensional information. All of these pine needles representing experiences we've had on many timelines. And not just our experiences, but all the experiences representative by everyone. Because the universe is within us, the universes are within us, and we are in the universes, as within, as without. It is all interconnected. Hey Tamara, good to see you again. I know I just saw you this morning. Hey Suzanne DeBose, long time no see. Thank you for joining. Okay, and you guys might want to go back to the beginning, or even this morning's message. Here it is, this morning's message on, I have the same banner up there. Allowing equals alignment equals shifting to that new reality that causes us to confront our fears, dying to old ways in order to be born again, like this maiden, fresh, new, innocent, regaining our youth through allowing, which aligns us, which is where true healing is. It brings us back to who and what we really are, pure love, God, source, energy, as we work through the pains. And one last one, the chakra. What chakra specifically or message wants to come forth? These are really, we're called to be really quiet. Like if you saw my earlier live today, you know how I'm normally about the whole active meditation, which is more stimulating, infusing high frequencies. And then the quiet meditation is more softening, I believe, and opening up to that subconscious. They're both opening us up and activating us, but in different ways. I don't know. Active meditation is more stimulating and alive, and quiet meditation for me is exposing or showing me things within for healing, cleansing, no different than the dark and the light. All right, this is coming up. And what we got is holistic health. So we're being brought to a inner healing alignment, activating DNAs. Goes back to that card this morning of, oh shoot, where did it just go? The split. See this heart here? It's split at the top of the head, but it's really also a woman's face, and she is showing her releasing the physical, the emotional buildup that is represented in the physical. So if you have a lot of deep emotions, we're going to reflect. If we have a lot of emotions of pain or unworthiness or I'm not worthy, you might reflect a lot of relationships that are always showing you that, because it's the physical manifestation of a deep wounded part of you, and that is not true. So then we have that physical to really make us deal with it. And this woman's releasing all of that, the physical pain of being human. But this here, the split mind, bringing into equilibrium both sides, the sun, the moon, the dark, the light, the feminine, the masculine, bringing together and integrating her split mind. This represents that, bringing together the two sides for greater alignment. And what is the full moon all about in this energy in 1111? It's about allowing to bring forth alignment, to bring forth a shift. And so we are aligning through allowing. This middle part represents a nice anchor, stability, and alignment that is freeing us. Oh my God, it's so beautiful. Now I have all the goosebumps. We're being delivered. And who's delivering us? We're delivering ourselves, guys. We're delivering ourselves from deep bondage of ancestors. Because this represents the red, represents the root, the physical lineage of our human self, our grandparents, our great-grandparents, our nationalities, the countries that we relate to. We are literally healing the bondage, the condensed emotional energy that is put in a physical bondage, repression, oppression, and we are freeing that through allowing that pain to shine through our light. So you guys have done so much work. You're embodying more and more and more light. This is what you are, earth angels, remembering your light, freeing yourself. You're delivering yourself, and this light is more intense, so you're able to delve deeper into deeper repression, things that we've kept hidden, or just not just kept hidden, we just didn't understand them and we accepted them. And we're liberating ourselves, we're delivering ourselves through this releasing, through this allowing. But it's not just releasing and saying, hasta la vista, baby. It's actually you're transmuting that energy that you're releasing to a higher frequency. So you're not just letting it go, you're actually transmuting it. You're bringing it back to the light that it was originally created in for our experience to grow and expand. And you're coming with a greater confidence and understanding of that and shining that. You guys are your own superheroes. You are angels incarnate that have forgotten who you are. And this is showing again the angel wings. Through our allowance, we're aligned, and that shifts us to that freedom manifested in the physical world. Beautiful. Holistic health, and all holistic health comes from that 7, that connection to the divinity within us, that vulnerability, that truth, that sacredness that we've always held, but it's been covered up by beliefs and assumptions put on us when we were little. This brings to mind, C. Megan did a really good live last night, and she was explaining up to age 7, we don't have the capability to discern. So a child just assumes whatever it's told as truth. And so they adopted that, and then they operate from that. And then that can create shame, that can create, oh God, it causes us not to be and to question what we really came for, but that very thing also is what empowers us in the end. So C. Megan was talking about up to age 7, we take all that and we assume it's true. Oh, Don't do that or the devil's going to get you. So we assume that's truth. We don't question it. We don't have the capability to discern, see, Megan was saying. And that made so much sense because now we're breaking free of those layers. But it's not just this lifetime, because whoever told you that, their parent told them, and their parent told them, and their parent told them. So that shows right here how we're breaking free and penetrating into the deepest darkness of what we were told in our ancestry to free. You are the deliverers. You're your own superhero. Through your awakening and through your allowing and through your confidence and stepping into and acting out on your own discerning truth. Beautiful. All right. I'm going to end it with that. 1 to 6. Susan DeBosey says 1 to 6. Yeah. See, Megan said something about that. She said about up to age 7, but 6 makes sense. I thought 7 seemed a little late, but it could be different for everybody too. But yeah, within that time frame. Thank you for that, Susan. I don't know. Were you watching that live last night? Breaking the shackles. Absolutely. Freeing ourselves. But in the past, what Spirit is really saying is we always look for that outside deliverance. And we will never be delivered. We'll never find the answer to a question operating from that same frequency. So we really had to go within, expand our light in order to deliver ourselves, in order to penetrate that darkness and see it for what it was, bringing equilibrium, bringing together the two sides of our mind, and releasing the physical concepts and ideas that we held onto in the physical reality up to now. Yeah, I love C. Megan. And the lives are long, or all lives are long. My lives are long, so I don't usually watch them, but I was taking a bath, and so I turned it on, and I always trust, and I always get something out of somebody's either live or replay, even if it's just momentarily that I need. So that's another beautiful thing. As we come into our own light, we're shining at a more authentic expression and frequency of our natural self, of this part of us, our bare self. We are going to attract those resonances immediately. We're going to manifest, shift to those resonances on that timeline that affect us. And the more light we have, the quicker it's happening. Things aren't taking long. Quote unquote, time seems to be going by quicker, but it's not really going by quicker. We're shifting exponentially in frequency, and time is really just a placeholder of a frequency. And that's another way that we are also eliminating that whole age or time or limited time on earth. We are now, and I believe, being reborn without dying to these new existences and realities without having to undergo the death process anymore, the physical death, because we're embodying more light. You all know we're embodying more light. And again, this image, this is my marker image. Sarah, I got to give credit to Sandy Maraca, a fellow Old Orchard Beach lady that I met living in a condo years back, who took a picture of this coming up over the ocean where we lived. But it's the perfect symbol and embodiment of our spiritual energy coming into the physical to permeate, penetrate, and shed light to any denser energies and belief systems and stuff that we were really holding as truth, like this. And this is what I like to do this a lot. Breaking through the density to reveal the light. That's what you guys do when you gaze on something, because you're a light being shining. All right, let's get to some readings. 2 days of a funeral. I didn't put it together like that. Breaking the shackles. Absolutely. Okay, so who shared out and would like a card? I see Tamra, and who else did I see? Suzanne? All right, and I don't know, I only shows 2 of you guys here, so I'm going to do Tamra. Oh, donation. Okay, Brenda's first. Sorry, she sent a donation. Brenda Mendoza, thank you so much for your donation. So you're up. Okay, so you get a more thorough reading. Thank you for your donation. Anybody who shared out, I'll do just a 1-card quickie. Otherwise, I'm going to do just give you a quick 3-card overall for a donation of what I just did for the collective. All right, so we are going to pull forth specific. So the collective always resonates usually with all of us in some way, shape, or form, whether to tell us something we're believing or not believing, or something that I said that you want to let go of and don't believe and discern your own truth. That's fine and dandy, however it works for you. But it usually builds upon the collective reading. All right, so Suzanne, Brenda. Brenda is first. Shoo. Let me just take a sip of water. Again, the importance of drinking water, the effect of the full moon, especially on water, and we're built of water, and that helps to cleanse and release the toxins, move them through our energy, helps us to be more alive within every cell and molecular. You know, when you don't have enough water, you'll get tired. You might even get a little brain fog. Drinking the water will bring everything clearer mentally and spiritually and physically, but also help us to remove the toxins. Again, they just keep wanting me to tell you about that. All right, Brenda. So this is the shadows and light. Specifically, what are you working in this cycle of the full moon? And I love that the portal is following right up after it, the 11:11. And again, just a reminder too, because I just got to share this. John Thaddeus Fiore and I are doing an 8-person max class Friday at 7 Eastern, only $25 for readings from both of us, and then working through those energies that might arise that you're clearing. So through EFT. So EFT, I believe, is a bridge between the physical and the spiritual. So a perfectly appropriate aligned class for the 11:11, and following up everything we're going through right now with the blood moon. So timing, man, everything is so in sync. Shoot. All right. Here we go. Oh my God, already 41 minutes into it. And I know, see, Megan, I was just looking at your comment, Susan, is also going to be doing a future class with John. John's working his way around all the more psychic readers to bridge the gap with that in the physical to get them to work together, and that only makes sense. The EFT, the tapping, working with the spiritual, because that's why we're here. We're bringing both together. The power of two. Well, actually, it's power of three usually, but you know, bringing two together to create new life. All right. Okay, so Suzanne, what I got for you, first of all, for maybe some energies to bring clarity or insight to what you are going through right now, what you might be receiving in dreams. In the earlier live today I talked about how I wasn't feeling anything during the full moon, and I didn't expect to cry, I didn't expect to release anything substantial, and or have really vivid dreams. And I talk about how I had a dream about Johnny Cash and why and this and that, but dream state too. A lot making sense of our dream state is revealing also energies about ourselves, or giving us a greater understanding through the dream state, which isn't any less real than the physical, guys. It really isn't. If you have a dream of being with someone who passed on or a loved one, that was not a dream, because death is the biggest illusion. Physicality is more of a hologram. It gives us a place of a solid experience, but it's transient. It is not forever. It gives us a vehicle and a playing ground to experience a piece of us, just a tiny piece, not the whole kit and caboodle that we're connected to when we're fully in spirit. So my point is, loved ones, angels, whatever frequencies and energies that you connect to might be guiding you, supporting you, and bringing awareness to you during your dreams, which makes sense because this even looks dreamy. Okay, so Brenda, you received the sea storm. Number 32. Holy crap. So storms bring about change. First of all, huge change. Because 3 plus 2 equals a 5. 5 equals change, impulses, spontaneous ideas, insights, upheaval. A storm can come on really quick. Like anybody who boats when they're out in the sea, a big electrical storm can come quick, and you better get on hightail off the water, whether it be the ocean, or I grew up near Lake Champlain, and those storms come in fast. So to me, it's saying that you might have had some quick things overtake you in life, or some unexpected stuff. that have come out of nowhere, that have caused and instigated and triggered change. So it might catch us by surprise, and it might not always be pleasant, but it brings in a new life, a change for you. Like yesterday was 74 here in Maine, unseasonably warm, really windy. Today's quite a bit nippier, maybe 50, but really windy and a little chilly. And you know how you get a lot of winds will come before the change, winds before a storm, and then you get the storm, or it's getting winds picking up, a storm coming in, but the wind also changes. It also ruffles up the leaves, moves the energy, exposes stuff on the earth that wasn't exposed before. So you might be just kind of making sense and allowing those changes in your life that have impacted you to flow through you, to give you greater insight. Uh, Let me see what it says on the bottom. Calm amidst the chaos. Because she don't look disturbed. Her eyes are even kind of rolled back to her head, saying she's at peace. She's in a transcendental state. She's like almost meditating through it. So I think that what's being called of you as you, first of all, I believe you should be. You should be. I believe that meditation and dream state also is really useful for you right now, because you're gaining a lot through your physical by allowing, not necessarily experiencing right now during the lunar full moon physical changes, but what you're doing is you're feeling them, or things might be shown to you in your meditation and dream state right now that is helping you to make sense, because her eyes are kind of rolling to the back of her head, showing that she's in an altered state. And that's how things are being revealed to you right now, to be shown to you in order for you to gaze your light on it, to gain the deeper insight and understanding, allowing, that's going to shift you to these changes. And how do we do that in our everyday life even? We come to our center, like the center of a hurricane or a center of a tornado is calm. So it's also saying, it's talking about you holding the center to the chaos in your physical world even. As you can remain calm, that calmness is going to shift that storm to a place of sunshine, of peace and balance. So it's also reminding and just saying, one of the things that you've probably had to work through is finding your center in the storms, in the chaos. Oh God, that little vacuum's going to go off. Hold on, let me shut that off because it makes noise. Get over here. Don't be hiding under the couch. Sorry. It's one of those little automatic vacuums, and it was sliding under the couch, and I had to catch it. There's symbols on her, too, that I haven't seen before. Oh, that's the other side of it. So as you do that, you are also anchoring a stability and peace deep within you, and it is affecting ancestry. There's these codes, and it's going down through her. So through you holding your center calm, going in meditation, maybe you astral travel, maybe you teleport, because altered states affect you greatly when you are in chaos or in storms. And they're also saying you subconsciously might conjure up storms, quote unquote storms in your life, change in order to bring about change as well. But because this is rooted down deep, through your state of being, you are the change as well. You are the change through your center. Change doesn't have to come from force in your life. You don't change your ancestry. You don't change your lineage by necessarily forcing and, like I said, manipulating the outside world and try to change the world from the outside. You change it by going within this altered state and connecting to your high priestess, to your higher self within you. So that's the energies that they just want to bring to your awareness through your calmness and through your centeredness. You are the change. It doesn't have to be an outside change of force. And that's really good, because this speaks to me, because I have personal people in my life, family members close that are living with me. And from my point of view, I really feel I question, should I enforce the change, or are they going to come to their own change? So there's a balance there, but through my own peace, not overreacting to how they're being, will bring about the change. So you could be going through something similarly as well in your life. Okay. What you got for the Mother Earth Heart card, this is really cool. This is pavement that has been broken up naturally. I was running, took a picture of this heart, and it was all broken up into a shape of a heart. I love this. This representing also being that calm, breaking through the darkness, breaking through all the darkness with your light. This here, this is kind of dark, it's hard. And through your center, holding your center, I don't know what this little red speck is, if it's paint or what on the pavement. This was just there. And it's perfect shape of a heart. So this to me represents your state of being, you breaking through the darkness, penetrating darkness by staying rooted in yourself. The red representing your root chakra, your groundedness. Where do we find our greatest grounding? Not from something outside of us. Something might help to assist us, like a nice calming place, like the ocean, like under the tree, like in the woods. They're there to assist us. But the true grounding is coming from that connection within the heart. They're helping us to align or connect to our heart. But ultimately, it's up to us to connect to our heart. And it's saying through your stability and your anchoredness to your heart, to your center, without worrying about what's going on all around you. And it even looks like a little face up here raising, not making havoc, but look, it looks like a little eye, a little mouth laughing here. I don't know what the little white thing is there. So this always can have a dual-fold representation. It could represent chaos and noise outside of you. You changing that noise by anchoring in your heart, changing your ancestral, changing your DNA, activating DNA, rooting in yourself. And also in doing that, you also activate your passion and your excitement. So also through your calmness, so if you got shit going on and changes in your world and you come to your calm, you meditate, you put yourself in an altered state, it's going to anchor you and calm the storm because you're going to shift to a frequency that's calming, that's going to be reflected, but it also connects you to a deeper excitement, passion. So you're also going to be guided when to act in the physical, when to speak, when to act, when we got all these voices or maybe tricksters and stuff happening. But this is also showing me a very galactic connection too, because he looks a little bit alien to me, this mind up here also. The way they usually are shown with a bigger head because of their intelligence and their frequency. So also, you are definitely aided in higher frequencies of the galactics, but that's also within you. But also breaking free of the mind, because this cranium looks like it's broken open. So you are breaking thought forms. Through discerning your own truths, you're breaking also ancestral thought forms, releasing higher discerning truths that are going to bring a greater passion and action from you. So even the pavement being broken open to expose this loose sediment in here. So you being calm and centered, meditating, and using whatever altered states you need to that are helpful and not hurtful. I don't know if you use plant medicine at all, but to bring you to this calm in the storm so that you can align to your own truth, and then the change happens. And then you're guided. And then you change the paradigms and break free for yourself and others limiting dense energies. All right. Okay, let me see here. Get down here and see what's saying. This is for Brenda. Brenda donated, so she's top on the list. The quickies, the share reouters won't be as in-depth as this. Oh my gosh, so of course, when you're the center of the storm, when you're connected to your heart space right down here, of course you're balanced. This is the chakra card representing the solar plexus, the yellow, representing your trust, confidence in yourself. Trusting and having confidence in what you're receiving as you remain in your center. You're going to receive, Brenda, information that might not go well with others, hence the storm. It might even cause little stormy interactions because you are coming to your own discernment, having the confidence to take action because you've allowed yourself to align to you, align to you. And then it might be, as you come forth, other people don't understand it, but they don't need to because you're creating a world for Brenda. You're not creating a world and a state of being and existence that is representative of somebody else's limiting beliefs. So you, as you step forth through these energies and in the 1111, you're stepping forth in a greater balance, confidence, trust. You're stepping forward, embodying a higher frequency of divine wisdom and knowledge. You're wide open to receiving and giving, but it's going to be based in your own alignment. And someone else, a priest or Hitler, thought he was aligned, and that's based on their own truth. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be aligned due to your own discerning, going within, making sense, being the center of all these energies that want to throw information on you. Very, very strong intuitive, very, very strong in your solar plexus. You're going to be presenting and taking action on a new way, one that is conducive to living the life that you want to live. We're all stepping into that greater trust. And that trust comes from our own discerning. And it also comes from us actually taking action because we're physical beings on that. It also shows kind of, this looks like it's out in the galaxy and connected to certain planet systems. I don't know, the purple here, and just, it looks very galactic to me. This is also showing a little bit of that galactic connection up here. And it's a positive thing because this little, oh my God, holy shit. All right, so look at, I just noticed this. This face, there's the nose, the mouth, it's like going, kind of like that skeleton thing. There's a black stone and a white stone right next to each other. Finding your own balance. Finding your own balance through the integration of the polarities within you, making sense in meditation to break free of the mind. See the mind, the cranium here, kind of cracking open? You are your own deliverer. You are the deliverer of your own freedom. You, as you allow yourself to come to your center, allow you to face and cleanse all of the stormy emotions of the past to flow through you, you are bringing forth new truth. You're stepping into it. You're breaking free. So the words of advice are, if there's something that seems really opposing to this thought, allow it to work for you. So if anything on the outside doesn't seem to be in congruency with what you want, how can that work for you? Or what is it showing you to bring balance in the mind? So meditation is really important. Dream state's really important, as always. Yeah, you are delivering yourself. You're getting to the core, the center of your Tootsie Roll Pop. Finding your passion, acting on it, and having the confidence. But there could be some outside stuff happening around you. So holding your center. Yeah, she looks like she's got it going on, and she ain't disturbed at all by anything happening outside of her. Beautiful, Brenda. Hopefully that made some sense to you. Hey, Heather. One day at a time. Absolutely, one day at a time. In the moment, just like that collective reading, in the moment, contain all the moments. In this state of grounding, contain all the moments that have ever existed, all within you. You're bringing peace and stability to them by being peaceful and stable within yourself. Anything that's happened in the past that you might feel comes forth, or pains or disappointments during this full moon, things that in your subconscious being brought for a healing, they will automatically be as you find your stability within. As you bring peace and stability, in this moment, you bring peace and stability to all moments of time. All right. Tamra, you are next. All right. I'm kind of liking the shadows and light, so I'm going to pull your shadows and light. Shoo. And obviously, Tamra, Brenda, the collective, are all holding a space for us to reflect energies that are within us for us to filter through. Because we're all on this platform for a reason. We're always reflecting the energies that we need in the moment. And all moments are within the moment. That shows the abundance of God and the expansion and how everything really is everywhere all at once, including us. Everything is contained in every moment. There's no place to go, no place to seek, nothing to find. It's all to do with us connecting to ourself, entering our heart space, quieting our mind, feeling and allowing for alignment to shift. All right, Tamra. What is Tamra? What's being brought into Tamra's consciousness? What is she filtering through? What is she finding the gold in during this blood moon? Shedding a lot of blood. Blood in general, it's called the blood moon. You know how they talk about Jesus having a bleeding heart, or when he was crucified, or Mother Mary's heart bleeding for her son. Blood represents that, well, first of all, blood on the physical level pumps through our heart, nourishes all of our body, brings food to all of our cells on a physical level. But blood also represents that spiritual nourishment that we need to sustain our physical body. We are not truly alive unless we are allowing the divinity to flow through us, allowing the fullness of who we are to flow through us. Because if something isn't aligned to our soul journey or to our heart from the outside, no matter how big or grandeur it is, it's never going to bring us fulfillment. We came in the physical to experience our spiritual self. And our spiritual self is unique and individual to us. We've come to heal, transmute a certain layer of darkness through our soul journey, and all of us are doing the same in a different way. That's why it's so important to share our journey or these lives, and stepping in for a reading is exposing something for us all to gain, because we're all connected in the love, but we're all having our own experience. But those experiences and those ahas and that alignment and allowance is still aiding the whole. It's helping us. Like, I can't do everything. I can't be a baker, a therapist, a mom, a dad, a construction worker, a robber, all at once. So each of us have that role, and that role is still an aspect of ourselves being worked out in that whole multi-dimensional self. But the blood. So yeah, the blood is also bringing us to where our passion is, our excitement, our fire. Fire also burns away things that are not needed. Like we have a lot of burn pits, put on the old leaves and debris to burn from the summer, the fall leaves, the fall branches, storms that break the branches down. So it goes along with this morning's message as well. Stepping through our ring of fire, finding your center, burning off that which does not serve you. But as you burn that which does not serve you, it also ignites that which does serve you, because you've transmuted that energy of density that doesn't serve you into a light, and it actually acts as a fuel to express your passion. All right, what do we got here, Tamara? Fairy of the Highlands. What the heck here? Fairy of the Highlands. All right. Her red hair represents a fiery passion. You know how they all say, "Oh, redheads are fiery or temper tantrumish." Well, her hair represents that fire within her. She wants to express. Those green eyes representing that connection to the heart. The fire is stemming from the heart, not the mind. And she's got these pink cheekbones, that pink, that bright pink, representing unconditional love, representing the connection to universal love, representing the connection to all that you are on all timelines. But what is she holding on to? She's holding on to something kind of fiercely. She's holding on to a sword in front of her. The sword can represent alignment. The sword can also represent protection. And what I'm feeling from this girl a little bit, oh God, now I'm getting the goosebumps, the spirit things. The need to still self-protect in some way. The need to keep up. It's not a shield, it's a sword, but feeling the need to protect oneself And she looks like a little girl. Protect oneself. So things that might be arising for you, Tamra, are memories or energies within yourself, whether it be on this timeline or other timelines. So sometimes we cry over things that we see in the outside world, but we didn't relate to because actually we did relate to it on another timeline, like me with the whole sacrificing of babies. So you're a little bit on defense mode still, and it's bringing up those incidences that have made you feel that defense mode so that you can loosen the grip of that sword. Her hands, even, Tamara, are gripped around tightly on the handle. But it's actually those very things that are bringing a strong alignment and anchoring of energy as you allow it. Cute little lips are pink or rose colored. I don't know what that to me is just like a connection to roses, connection um, to have a rose or pick a rose. You know, you got to go through the thorns. So you've had to go through the thorns in order to connect to your own blooming into that rose. I don't know. As a little girl, did you like putting on lipstick, Tamra? They're showing me as a little girl, maybe experimenting with your mom's lipstick or taking a tube of lipstick, trying on lipstick. And a lot of times even that, like I like to wear, I feel naked unless I have lipstick usually, but to me it accentuates the mouth. And what do we do with the mouth? We speak our truth. And now it's time for you to step forward and speak your truth. And speaking it doesn't necessarily mean you have to go live or public with it, but it means living it and daring to speak your truth with love, allowing all your hurts and pains to be transmuted through your energy so you can speak your truth, not someone else's, not have to operate from self-defense. You're not free if you feel you need to be scared or protect yourself. That's not real freedom. Same as when I gave that foreigner a ride today, I could have fell into fear mode. But what freedom is that if I can't help a fellow man, a fellow angel? That's not freedom. Freedom to be who we are without worry and fear, letting go of all those fears. Any fears outside of you, created or densified or projected in your reality, are just a deep fear within ourselves, deep, deep, deep within. And even the cloak around her, a little bit of like protection. What they're showing me right now is on Harry Potter, one of the first episodes. He put that invisible cloak on him. Maybe you felt better in the background. Maybe you wished you were invisible. Maybe your truth has been kind of invisible and you've been protecting yourself in some way, shape, or form. But really, you were born to be fiery. You were born to speak your truth. You were born to be passionate. So I guess the call for you is as you examine and filter through and allow some deep-seated hurts or pains or places in life where you were let get down and you weren't protected, where you weren't safe and secure, to open up now. To open up because you're the one, through your alignment, through your allowance, you're going to give yourself that safety and protection because you've already gone through all that other stuff. Now, as you take the light from it, that is your protection. As you open up to yourself, allow yourself, take action on your own discerning truths, that is your protection and that is your safety. That's also something that Spirit's been really saying. There is no safety in the outside world. Even look at parents that have hurt us or relatives or loved ones or spouses or partners where we felt that they hurt us because our security and safety is never in the outside. It's only on the inside, and then we project that out. It's time to be brave. I didn't even know that's what it said. Time to be brave, Tamra. Time to be brave. And that's a 20. New beginnings, partnerships, you with another, you with a group, you with spirit. Trusting in the spirit of you. Because the 0 to me represents that portal, the spirit that adds intensity and spiritual gifts to the 2. So you have spiritual gifts as you unify the physical and spiritual part of you, as you unify and allow the outside hurtful world to aid the little girl Tamra, the physical world, in the spiritual world. You're unifying 2 opposing forces, but what you're yielding with it is the gifts of spirit, Tamra. Time to be brave, step up, speak your truth. Those cute little lips. Oh my God, those lips, the pink is really standing out. You too. Oh my God, you're an angel. They're saying angel, is it Joviel? Jophiel? Is she the angel of love or the heart? Jophiel? I don't know what each angel is designated to, but they're saying Jophiel. Jophiel, that one. Something to do with the rose and love and trusting in that and having that supportive frequency. You're an angel with that frequency. All right, beautiful. Son of a bee. That was nice. All right, who else we got going here? Um, I send stars to you. Thank you, Erica. All right, Erica's next. So yeah, Facebook started this whole star thing, and I always wondered, well, why are people getting stars? So I guess it's a way to get recognized by Facebook for getting positive affirmation on your lives. And I don't know exactly how it all works in a financial sense, but earning stars helps you to earn points to maybe earn money. But I'm sure it's like you gotta like probably have millions and millions of stars. But anyways, it just shows Facebook that you're appreciated through your videos. Who am I on? Erica. Thank you for the stars. Very empowering readings for all you guys, really showing you where your power is. Like Brenda, it was through her own center and her own stability. For you, Tamara, it's about stepping out and being brave, knowing that you don't need to protect yourself anymore. And let's see, Erica. Yes. Beautiful, Tamara. Allowing to flow, talking to your husband about it, whatever I was talking about earlier. Love makeup. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Tamara, because that girl had cute blush, pink lipstick. And that's funny because I, too, used to sneak into my mother's makeup, or I grabbed her mascara one time, and she says, you wear mascara or something. And I was only in like third grade. And me, too. I always loved that makeup. Sometimes a makeup can accentuate yourself, but it can also hide you. So it can work both ways, too, but finding that what the meaning is for you. All right. My hair is red, my eyes are green, and hold the sword. Holy shit, Spirit's pretty accurate, eh, Tamara? And then when you're getting such an accurate reflection, it's showing you the clarity of you. It's showing, hold on, Erica, you're next, but obviously every message runs into another. As you hold this clarity, you are reflecting that back into your physical reality more clearly. So the mirror, as we align to ourself, allow our sun within and connect to our light, the mirror is going to reflect, the mirror meaning the world, even oracles, people, whatever, is going to reflect a more accurate image of ourself. So if we look in the mirror and there's a frown, we, like Bashar always uses this example, if there's a frown, you don't go to the mirror to try to make it smile. No, it has to come from you. It has to come from within. And that goes together with any change we want on the outside comes from within. All right, Erica, wow, talk about red again. We got some fire business going on here. All right, I'm just going to interpret what I'm seeing, and then we'll see the rest. 8, immediately the 8 standing out. So that's showing you being on that eternal loop, being aware of infinity, being aware of the divinity, being aware as you go within, like the letter 8. As you go within, where the apex is, where the 8 meets, right here. As you go within, you're connecting to yourself, and then boom, you're bringing that back out in your world. And it's like a cycle. Then we go back within. We master something on our cycle. Could be just, we can use something in the normal physical, a cook. Maybe they've gone to culinary school, and they've been a chef, and they've been in some restaurants, or they doing their cycle. First, let's start from school. So you go within, you got your cycle, got your knowledge, and then you go and maybe get some experience. You've done another cycle, or it could be something like spiritual growth. You've gained some insight. You go out in the world, you gain some insight. So for the culinary, it's school. For spirituality, it could have been a group, a class, or just going within your own inner knowledge. You gained it, and then you got to go back out. This is how we get mastery. We go back out, and we utilize it and apply it in our world on all sorts of levels until we master it, and then we hit a wall or hit something else and say, oh, well, what about this? And then we go back within and we take that knowledge and that experience, and then we go into a bigger loop, and it gets bigger. So it's infinite. We go within, go without, go within for our knowledge, finding, discerning our truth, go without, practice it in our world, and then go back in again. So I'm feeling you're kind of on that that loop, you're aware of it, you're conscious of it. And 8, representing abundance, infinity. Every time you master something, every time you go within, you go without and practice it. And release, it teaches us to release expectations, because our mind is so limited that sometimes we go in within, then we are allowed to say, oh, okay, how much do I believe this? How much do I believe I'm abundant? How much do I believe what I just gained? And what I'm feeling for you is, you might, when you're going back out, you got to release the expectations of how that new knowledge has to play out, is what I'm feeling. That just came to me, so I don't know. So it keeps us always expanding in abundance. The more we go within, we gain the true knowledge, earth, life, experiences, relationships, all of that stuff in our world, everyday world, gives us the experiential experience of that knowledge from going within. That's how we are in a broader perspective too, as an angel, lowering our vibration enough to densify our body to live in the dense experiences in order to learn and gain and allow that playing ground. But as we're playing, we're also expanding Christ consciousness, God's self, and giving ourselves the experience of it. And it's eternal. Do, 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 do. All right, we'll be wrapping it up pretty soon. Low power mode. If anybody else made a donation, let me know. Otherwise, I am doing some quickies. Grumpy Red Fairy, be your true self. Yeah, she looks a little grumpy. Maybe a little angry about stuff. Maybe you get a little, things will trigger you, and you'll do quick releases, like let things build up maybe a little bit. And that can represent the 8 too, building up, getting a little, allowing it to fester or stew, then boom, you come right back out. And you might, like, that's what I do sometimes. I'll put up with so much. And then you know what? That one little thing was the straw that broke the camel's back, and then I'll be, ah, and I'll release it. So it's also a call for bringing balance as well. But also, what makes us angry is expectations. And again, that has to go with kind of releasing those expectations. If we have an expectation and time again we don't get the result we want, well, what is that telling us? Maybe we're expecting something that we're not to receive, or maybe we need to perceive the situation different and gain again, like the 8, a broader perspective of whatever is making us angry. Otherwise, we just stay on that same loop as well. But if we allow that repetitive loop, or if you get angry, you get explosive over the same things. Like for me, it was our dog peeing, and family members not taking him out enough, and like he's potty trained, and you guys stay on top of the situation, and I just get madder and madder, and I just keep condensing that energy to happen more and more and more. And was it teaching me? I got to let it go, breathe it out, relinquish control. So I'm feeling you might have to relinquish some control, but also see whatever the repetitive things or the things that are making you angry is usually because you got an expectation that isn't being met. And that's about letting go and releasing too, and learning what the belief is within that anger that's causing that anger. Could be anything. Maybe you expect your kid to act a certain way. Maybe you expect yourself to be diligent exerciser or eat a certain way, and you get mad at yourself or you get mad at the kid. But what it's letting you know is that anger, you're believing in something, maybe a mold or something that needs to perform or act or look a certain way. You got to let it go. I get angry at myself all the time. Why? Because I'm still holding molds of expectations that I need to break through. And then that brings me to true abundance. So be your true self. So if you're angry, sometimes we're angry because deep down at a subconscious level, so the full moon might be bringing to awareness beliefs that were imposed on you, and you're angry as hell because you know what? They don't represent the true you, but in some way, shape, or form, on a subconscious level, you think you still need to act them out or be them. So you're really breaking through some paradigmal beliefs that no longer serve you, and seeing that. What are the things? Go within meditation and say, and ask yourself, as your intent, hey, why am I so angry about this? And then it'll expose a belief that's something you just need to let go of, because anger is based on an expectation. And usually it's an expectation placed on us that we don't even realize. So whatever's been repetitive in your life will also tell you the answer. All right, beautiful. All right, that was for Erica. Heather, I like the art craft. Ah, being a Virgo. Yeah, that perfectionist. And I got some of that in me. It's like son of a bee. So like my husband or my older son or my daughter, everyone's old enough to know better. Why the hell can't you just clean up after yourself? I would never expect anyone to clean up after me. Why do I got to clean up after you? Simple things. So it's the simple things that get me sometimes. It's those little foxes, those little things. Why do I get so angry? Because I have an expectation, or maybe I need to have certain things a certain way, or else it makes me appear bad, or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Or sometimes, in my excuse always is, I like open, clear space. I like my feng shui. I don't like clutter. I like things clear, open, spacious. And I don't like, like my husband's idea of cleaning. He'll wipe the counters, and God bless his heart, but he throws it all on the floor. And I get so mad because floors represent foundation to me. And I'm like, that is not cleaning. And then I gotta go through and vacuum and get underneath all the cabinet little spaces. And I definitely am not OCD. I just, certain things. I like my feng shui. I like energy to move. I like things to feel good because I'm very feeling, and I'm an air sign, and I like that. Or in his office, he'll have, it doesn't matter, it's his space, but, or the garbage. It's so compacted, so hard. All I feel like, what it represents to me is this deep, compacted energy. Get rid of it. Let it go. Open up space. So to me, it's reflecting an energy within myself, probably, that I'm always working on. But just an example. All right. Heather Graham, you're next and last. Unless somebody made a donation, let me know. Oh, air sign, yeah. So, yeah, I was reading an awesome article that Teresa Home has on her page, and it talks about us as angels and a lot of angelic descendants, and you guys are all angels, master light blasters, warriors of light, but not necessarily true, but what's prominent in them is they tend to have a lot of air and water in their charts. Doesn't mean you are one. You could be a Leo and obviously be, an angel and have all those other signs, but air and water are really prominent in that. Okay. Who am I on, Heather? But Teresa Holmed, Holmed. If you're friends with her and you go to her profile and scroll down, it talks about, there's an interview and he's talking just about the ascension energies, but he talks about kind of the truth of our workings. But it's cool. All right. And what do we always look up to and help and support? We look for the angels. Well, all of that energy is really within us. We are that. It's just the outer reflection, because as a human, we create separation. We don't believe we're all of it. We're not taught that we're all of it. We're not taught that we have the power. So then we create these separative identities and objects and stuff to give us the power, not knowing that we are the power. So all of those things and frequencies that all of the angels or crystals or methodologies are, we really hold that, but we are physical, so we came for the physical experience. So that's fun to play with it. Let it act as our reminder, our remembering, our catalyst, like the sun for me, representing that sun within, giving us that physical remembering. So know that it's a physical remembering. If a crystal comes in, a certain crystal that represents something, know that it's a frequency within yourself that is being nurtured or being revealed to you, or that you're working in, or it's supporting you. For example, if you feel really connected to Archangel Michael at the moment, and Tamara, you probably have, with that sword and that protection, it's working with that energy, but knowing that energy is already within you, and then that energy might teach you, oh yeah, I really don't need that outside protection. I am safe. I am safe within my own sovereignty, with my own divine connection. As I allow more and more of me, I am safe, and that protection is within me. Or Raphael, representing the angel of healing, right? Or the heart and healing. And if you're working with that energy, it's just teaching you have that capacity within you, and you're just activating that energy to work within you to heal yourself. All right, what do we got here? Heather Graham. Woo! Twins. You're not a twin, are you? Wait, Heather, you're not Gemini, right? No, you're Libra. So I am Gemini Sun, Libra rising, and then my moon is in Cancer. So I got lots of air and water swooning in my three major, Leo and Venus. So I have Leo and Venus, and I'm not an astrology expert. I just get little tidbits, like the typical Gemini, jack of all trades, but a master of none. But so I take what I need, and that's fine to work for me. And I always spin things to work for me. My husband will say, "Oh, you always spin it to be positive. You always spin it to work for you." Well, I sure as hell hope so, because no one else is going to do it for me. So yeah, I have a lot of Libra, always looking for that balance. So Heather, you just said you're Libra, right? So this represents you, the scales, justice, finding equilibrium, finding the balance between opposing forces. Because sometimes it's hard for me to make a freaking ass decision because I can see the positive perceptions in all. And I can find the positive, not necessarily the negative, but I can see the pros and the cons of both. And it's hard to make a decision because you are so open. You are so open-minded, Heather. So it's about honing into you and trusting in what you feel. Just trust it and accept it. Trust it and accept it. I know I toy a lot with even like the other day I did a live. Well, am I on the ocean? Do I have to feel do I feel I need to be on the ocean because a lot of angels too are guided to big waters and need water. Because it's part of an old me I need to release, or what is it? And me being all wishy-washy in my mind, thinking about all these different perspectives of why. And then John says, Thaddeus says, just accept it. And that's all there is to it. And that was my message anyways. You don't have to have a reason. You don't need to justify anything that you want, Heather. You don't just, it's for the simple reason you like it. Grab it, buy it, move there. Just because you like it, there doesn't need to be a reason, and you don't need to justify. You don't need to justify your expression, or you know. Indecisiveness can be a block with Libra sometimes. I know. So we're open. We're an air sign. We see that the perceptions as a gift and a curse. We can see the beauty in all. But then when it comes to making a personal decision, that very openness can stump us. So you might be dealing with, justice, balancing two different decisions, the weighing of scales, and just trust what's in the moment, as Spirit is saying. So what's coming to you is maybe you're just learning to trust what's in the moment. I can think of many decisions I made that might have been opposing forces. So a Gemini too, there's duality there. There's the twins. You probably have Gemini somewhere, don't you, Heather? Somewhere in your chart, Geminis. So, oh my God, so no wonder I get so indecisive. So I got the Libra, the scales, and then the opposing forces, always a devil and an angel in one. So, but what that does, all of that indecisiveness, Heather, and all of those things cause a catalyst for you to come to your own center in your own discernment. So this again goes with the collective as we go in the 1111, discerning your own truth. And it's allowing the indecisiveness, allowing the two scales, coming to your center and creating something new from those two different opposing points or two different decisions. Even if both decisions feel good, what about those two do you like? And then coming to your own discernment of, and you're an artist too, right? So you create. So you're always dealing with that, and that's where your artwork and your paintings and all that stuff stem, because you're able to do that. But you might be holding judgment against yourself where you think you made a wrong decision, but you didn't, or questioning yourself, because I question, holy shit. So I had all that I ever wanted, dumped it all, let it all go, and now I'm back to the beginning and rebuilding again. So anyways, but it's being built from something new, a newer energy, a new frequency. So it could be about questioning yourself. So again, trusting yourself, trusting your discernment, trusting enough to step in with this new understanding and insight and take action on it. It says magical space clearing time. So you got two little witches, two little tricksters, two little voices, and just allowing yourself to feel through them and allowing it to flow through you so you can shed your own light on those things to infuse it with a new meaning, a new decision, a new label, a new definition. So say you get two little black witches, become the white witch in the middle. They look a little overwhelmed. They look a little hypnotized. They look like they've been confronted with a lot of different choices and they just couldn't make up their minds. And the stripes connecting the two. Even the stripes can be symbolic of black and white, opposing things, bringing things into unification and clearing away that with the debris, the broom representing clearing, cleaning, sweeping. What I was just saying about sweeping floors, vacuuming floors, cleaning away the debris, sifting through the energies and just grabbing the nugget. What resonates? Don't need to justify it. Don't need to explain it. Just take it and run. Just trust your first instinct. Trust that instinctive part of you when making a decision. If you got two blouses, what one did you like first? Because I can say, oh, well, I could wear this one at this time. That one will look better with those pants. Blah 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 blah. When you could only pick one, then pick the one in the first gut feeling. Or guess what? Sometimes you can take two. Take both witches with you. If you're indecisive about a decision, why can't you do both routes? Why can't you take the two, combine them, and create your own? Trying to balance and going with the flow and taking action, yeah. I'm feeling you're, out of all the flow and all the actions and all the decisions, you're going to create your own unique way of incorporating all of it. Things aren't limited. We were taught limited also. We were taught that you can only have so much, do so much, take a certain job, but now the time is opening up where we are allowing our multidimensional selves to experience many aspects of ourselves. So there's no reason why you can't take two things and immerse yourself in both, but whatever's applicable in the moment. Just because you say yes to one thing, Heather, they're saying, you don't have to say no to the other. You can take them both, and then you create a new birth. Make sense? LOL, they do look like that. Magical space and clearing. Oh, creative energy. So the 30, I don't know what life path you are. I know I'm a 30. And that, again, represents bringing into balance. The 3 representing the Holy Trinity, bringing into balance, even represented by their, is that a hat or a cap? Their caps looks like a little triangle. You know, it looks like a little mini pyramid within itself, which is your safety, which is your protection. And the 0 representing that infinite opportunity, that divinity. So you are spiritually gifted in expression. And that makes sense if you're an artist in any way, shape, or form for anyone. And so also overcoming doubt, fear, self-doubt, criticism, judgment, as being too much of a perfectionist with your own expression, you might deal with. But a 30 will usually also experience a lot of self-doubt and have to be really confident in their decisions, and that requires us, you, to be decisive. Okay? Because you do have to project your energy in one spot. When confused, only worry, bring yourself to the moment. What can I act on now to the best of my excitement and my fullest capability now? Don't worry about tomorrow, because tomorrow's might be completely different. All that matters is you're acting to your highest excitement, to the best of your capability in the now. What can you do now that excites you most? All right. Awesome readings, guys. I'm a life path 4. So building the foundations, building blocks, building upon ideas, concepts, but having them come from you in unity. Bringing together, I guess, those the differences and having them work together as well goes along with your reading with the 4. All right. All right, guys. Thank you so much for your donation, Brenda. Thank you for your sharing, and thank you for your stars. And if you guys are interested in bridging the gap between the spiritual and the physical, to do with all of these energies on the 1111, what's coming to your awareness now and what's being released or alchemized, John, Thaddeus Fiore, and I are doing a class. Only 8 people, only $25 for readings from both of us and some EFT. To me, the EFT is the bridging of the physical and the spiritual to help to release and aid in the transmutation of energies and self-acceptance and standing in your power and having the confidence to discern your own truth. So, all beautiful, guys. All right, thank you, 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 guys. I'm out. Thank you for shining your light here because you guys created these messages. I wouldn't have just created them. It's your energy that reflected it for the individual and for all. May you all shine with the entirety of all the love and light that you are. Oops, can't hit that button very good.